Shalom. First and foremost, I'm begin by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Bukak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. And all praises, honor, and glory is definitely due to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. As I always say, being that the prophecies are moving the way that they are, I can recall when I first came into this truth like 6 years ago, and I was hearing the prophecies, and I was fully convinced, but I wasn't seeing things happen as far as the end time prophecies. I was seeing some things, but I wasn't seeing it on the level that I'm seeing it today. So I'm thankful for the spirit that's been given to me, as you brothers and sisters should be also, because it's really happening, like real time. Now everything is real time. Now it wasn't just a little bit of something that could lead to it. You know what I'm saying? This is like actually happening. You know what I'm saying? And we're in that time. And the Wadi Yahweh Shami Yahweh Shai, for proving your word to be faithful and true. Again, all praises to Yahweh Shami Yahweh Shai. Now, we're still dealing with, okay, I'm going to just get into some videos and I'm going to expound on them and go from there, okay? Let me start with this one. Let's go to the beginning of it.
Worldwide.
And this is from Hours of Indignation. Citizens of Babylon, this video is for you. I hope you're listening. By the way, the prophets of doom were right.
Alternative would be a worldwide depression. The stupid people want to have a worldwide depression, and they're stupid people. So you can only go so far. You drive somebody into the ground and a lot of bad things happen. Number one, the strait would never open because they don't like floating billion-dollar ships up and down a strait when there are rockets flying over them and mines all over the place. So.
And with those words, I would get ready if I were you. That is the first public admission from Trump and the White House that they lack the cards. They are not in the seat in which he tries to say that we've been in, and this is about to become a disaster. Last week, going on a week now, he said we're 4 weeks from disaster. He said this himself on camera, and now he is telling the whole world that a U.S. Great Depression is on the horizon. He's warning you flat out because there's rules to the game. He said it. A bunch of people missed it. You need to share this and get this out there and tell people, hey, if you're not seeing what's going on, they're about to reset the whole globe, the entire planet. He said the strait will never open if there's no Iran deal. There hasn't been. And they're giving 60 days. That is 2 months. That's a lot longer than 4 weeks. And if you can do the math, you clearly see there's a problem. We have people flipping out there saying that you better stock up on supplies. The price of fertilizer itself, they're stating right now, is going through the roof. That the ingredients and everything that you need for all your food just got way more expensive. Your grocery bills are about to soar too. And they've come out and they said Warsh and all them are expected to raise rates 3 times this year. They are planning to crush this place. All the warning signs are there. I've covered them. I've told you. It's all there. I don't know what else to say. When Trump comes out and makes a statement like that about a U.S. Great Depression, I'd have your ducks in a row, and I'd have some kind of plan on supplies. Because at some point here, it's going to hit, and the herd is going to stampede in to get stuff. You need to get caught in it. You've had plenty of time, advance warning, to do something. So I wish you well. Join me for the live streams going live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, where I'm trying to talk about remedies and things we can do against all this. But we're running out of time, and big events are right in front of us.
And there is nothing you can do against it, because it's all Bible prophecy. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't over. Trust me, this war ain't over. You know what I'm saying? But like I've been saying, and like the brother's been saying, you know, beginning with the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, as the video does say, the prophets of doom were right. You know, because it's been a thing going around that GMS and like-minded affiliates are prophets of doom, because we're constantly preaching about the end days. Well, guess what? We're here. We're here, okay? And it only gets worse from here. It only goes downhill. Esau is running out of road. He can't keep he been kicking the can down the road, and he's running out of it now. All the fucking road in America, and he's running out of it. Just have to crack that joke, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, he can't keep kicking the can down the road. He'll try. That's what these remarks. That's him trying to kick the can down the road, and it's not gonna work. Okay, because now he basically, and as I'm gonna get in another video here, he's basically like telling Iran, you know, okay, I can't do this no more. Okay, and he's telling everybody, he's admitting defeat. Okay, and if we don't stop, this is gonna cause a global catastrophe economically. You know, and he really don't care about you Americans, you Babylonians. He don't care. But he cares about his name. He cares about his image. Okay? He doesn't want to go down in history as the one who bought this, but I believe he is. I don't see America, Babylon the Great, having another president or another leader, you know what I'm saying, in this fashion, you know what I mean. It's time for this place to go, and we're entering 250 years, and Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is constantly warning. Yeah, you ain't got much time, you know, and that's why I say he'll try to keep kicking the can down the road, but he ain't got much road left, you know, and so things are getting ready to happen because of it. As he spoke of, he mentioned like another Great Depression. You know what I mean? Let's get 2nd Ezra chapter 16, I believe. And I'm going to go to I'm going to start at verse 1. It says, "Woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. Gird up yourselves with cloths of sack and hair. Bewail your children, and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away?" So these plagues are getting ready to come. That's why he mentioned the Great Depression. The Lord said he was going to smite this place with plagues, like he did ancient Egypt. And this is the beginning of it. Okay? This is the beginning of that. Okay, those plagues are being sent out now. And you got people crashing out, as we do plenty of videos. People are constantly crashing out about, what's going on. Hell, I got to work today. Well, it's after midnight, so I say yesterday, but I got to work. I'm telling you, 30 minutes into the shift, a supervisor getting into it with two employees, their brothers, twin brothers, about to throw hands. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not sure of the full what caused the situation, but hey, look here, man. People are going through it, man, and people are losing their minds because of what's going on. Okay. So we gotta be careful how we tread. We gotta tread softly and stay faithful in Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah so we can be protected. You know what I mean? And I only mention that just to show you that it's not hard to right now. It is so easy to just push somebody at that distress level to where they ready to just go at it. And these are the times that we're in. And it's about to get a whole lot worse. Okay? And say, look at Babylon is falling apart, man. Let me get another video here. Right quick, cause he's saying peace. They're so hypocritical, you know what I'm saying. Hopefully I can get into that, but he's saying peace, basically. And you know what happens? 1 Thessalonians chapter 5. And it says, verse 3, it says, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Okay? So, I mean, they can tell you that, okay, yeah, they reached the deal. They haven't. You can think that things are going to get better. It's not, and you just heard it from the horse's mouth. Okay? So once again, this ain't time for playing games. This ain't time for debating topics that have nothing to do with prophecy. Okay? It's no time for debating at all. The truth is not up for debate. It is what it is. And the Lord spoke, and He's speaking through the prophets. And now it's happening. He said, I will speak the word and will perform it. Let me get that right quick. And it says, Ezekiel 12 and 25. I'll start at verse 22. It says, Son of man, what is that proverb that ye have in the land of Israel, saying the days are prolonged and every vision faileth? Okay, why they call it as doomsday prophets? Because they're basically under the assumption that all these things you're saying are coming like far ahead, like 1,000 years from now. I mean, that's in the times we living in. It's so doofus of anybody to be speaking like that. It says, tell them therefore, thus said Yahweh power, I will make this proverb to cease, and they shall no more use it as a proverb in Israel. But say unto them, the days are at hand, and every effect of every vision. Okay? And we're seeing that. It says, for there shall be no more any vain vision, nor flattering divination within the house of Israel. For I am Yahweh, I will speak, and the word that I shall speak shall come to pass. And he's speaking through his prophets. Beginning with the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and down to like-minded people like myself. It shall be no more prolonged, for in your days, O rebellious house, in your days, O rebellious house. It ain't talking about 1,000 years from now. It's talking about now, partner. he says, for in your days, O rebellious house, will I say the word and will perform it, said Yahweh power. Okay, and the Lord spoke his word through the prophets, and it's being performed right now. He's performing it. Okay, it's a wrap. World War III. Come on now, man. None of this is stopping. None of this is gonna end, man. So this other video I was looking at,
in the United States, they say that President Trump does everything that I ask him to do. And in Israel, they say that I do everything he wants me to do. Well, neither is true. We're leaders of independent and proud countries. We stand for our interests. I stand for the interests of Israel. And often we see eye to eye. Sometimes we don't. And I say to you now what I said at my brother's grave just a few hours ago. Today, I said, no matter what happens in the talks, with an agreement, without an agreement, I pledge to you that Iran, as long as I'm Prime Minister, will never have a nuclear weapon. Never. As long as I am the Prime Minister of Israel, I will not let that happen. And I said something else about Lebanon. I said, as long as we need to protect our people.
yeah, and I'm gonna let this continue, but as you can see, he wants all the smoke. And he's sitting there telling that lie in the beginning that Trump is not doing what he says do. More than likely, Trump got that call. And we're going to get that. I'm going to go ahead and go to the video from the elder brother Malcolm from the GMS Chicago camp. You know, and he expounded on it a little bit more. I wanted to play these videos as he wasn't in a position, I'll say, you know, to let you see the videos, but they were heard. You were able to hear them. Okay, but let me let this liar continue.
We will remain in the security zone in South Lebanon. And the reason is perfectly understood. No country would be asked to do otherwise. Now you imagine the United States. Across the border, you have thousands, an army of thousands of terrorists who pellet your cities and your towns with rockets and ballistic missiles and killer drones. They kill your soldiers, they kill your citizens, they kill your children. And they threaten them every day. Well, what would America do? Would it say, well, there's nothing we can do? Let's hold our fire? Is that what America would say? No. You know damn well what America would do. It would cross the border, create a security zone, kill the terrorists, and protect its people until the threat is removed. That's exactly what we are doing. And let me tell you something else. No country would do it better. In the United States, they say that President Trump does everything that I ask him to do. And in Israel, they say.
So yeah, you can see this dude really wants to fire, man. And because of this, America is not going to be able to back out. They're going to back out for a short minute because other prophecies have to be fulfilled. But just so you know, once this pops off, which as he said could happen in the next 4 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks, you know, and it gets worse and worse, hey, look here, it's not looking too good for you Babylonians, you Americanites. It's not looking too good for you. You know what I'm saying? For you non-believers here. Because it's finna get serious. You know? And once they actually implement that chip, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna go full-blown nuclear. And this place is gonna be destroyed, man. But that chip has to be implemented first. because that chip, people, anybody that takes that is gonna mark them for destruction. You know what I'm saying? Lord will they don't take this video down. Yahweh Ratazah. You know, but you're marking yourself for destruction when you do that, because you're pledging your allegiance to the beast. You know what I mean? Read Revelation 13 and 16. You know, and the brother did bring it out in the video I'm about to get, but I'm gonna get it myself right quick. Book of Jeremiah, chapter 49, and he said it was verse 20. So let me look at that. Jeremiah 49 and 20. Therefore hear the counsel of Yahweh that he had taken against Edom, and his purposes that he had proposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. Okay, and the least of the flock is talking about these Izzies. You're gonna know where that came from in a little bit. Okay, but BB is gonna draw America back in, just like he drew them in the first time, like he's been drawing them in for decades. Okay, they're gonna be drawn back in. You know what I'm saying? Because contrary to what he just said, yes, all he has to do is make one phone call to Trump and say, hey, play ball or else. And Trump ain't gonna want that or else, so he's gonna play ball. Okay? So don't be fooled by the rhetoric. You know what I'm saying? But do know that, hey, perilous times are coming. Soon. Okay? So it was, as we always say, that's the main message in these epistles we do. Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Because when these places are made desolate, Babylon and BB's country over there, trying not to say it, but you know, hey, they're gonna be obliterated. Say that country, that's our land, it's gonna be rebuilt, but this country, America, will never be inhabited again, according to the scriptures, man. Now let me, because I'm gonna go back to this video that I was looking at from the elder brother. I'm not sure what point it was.
Shalom, shalom. Call Halal Yahweh.
Let me see.
That condemned the college students.
Okay, yeah, because he played a few videos.
Lost the war.
So I'm gonna let him speak for a little bit, actually. And but yeah, this is GMS Maccabean Spirit. You know what I'm saying? That's the Elder Malcolm in Chicago. So yeah, subscribe and be edified.
Just give me a second.
Salaki, you know, for the hold up. He's gonna get into some videos. Just bear with me. Or with us.
Salakia. It is Jeremiah 49, but it's 49 and 20, not 7. And it reads, therefore hear the counsel of Yahweh that he hath taken against Edom, see? And his purposes that he hath purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. So, you know, America's in a bad way we're just a few weeks away from having no oil. So all these people are here in this park, in this little wooded sanctuary with all this life. You know, unfortunately, there's a prison next to me in the form of a zoo. All those animals in captivity over there. People think they're just going to come out here and walk the trails and, you know, forever. I mean, and there's mostly Edomites in this neighborhood and in this place right now. I mean, all nations are here, but it's mostly Edom. I am in Lincoln Park. You can look that up on the map and see it. It's, I think that...
And that's true, because this is modern day Basra, okay? Which is, Basra was the capital city of Edom, you know, when you go into the scriptures. So this is a modern day Basra, Babylon the Great America.
Third largest park.
So yeah, it's mostly Edomites here, but as we have been scattered amongst all nations, as the brother said, all the nations are here, you know what I'm saying? So
In Chicago, I think it's the third largest. They think that everything is normal, and it is not normal. The global markets pretty much crashed today. Okay? Meanwhile, Fox Media is giving false reports. America just lost the war against Iran. And they're still coming on television, you know, talking about Trump making the demands and barking out orders. And that's a lie. Trump took the knee and basically gave Iran everything that they did, that they wanted. So Iran still had control over the Straits of Hormuz. Iran still got to not diminish any of their missile program, and a whole list of other things. And America was forced to submit to those wishes. And the Israelis did not appreciate it, and they went behind America's back immediately, and they attacked Lebanon. So I'm gonna play some videos here, and you know, let them play, and then bring out some more scriptures as the Spirit feeds them. So, yeah, this is in my secret journalist list of things. You don't need to see the video, you just need to hear it. But here we go.
I want to sit down for this while I read this. And let me tell you, since we're going to be talking about the country that starts with an I, and I'm making this on the app that is the manipulative messaging arm of the country that starts with an I, I'll be referring to it as Izzy. This is a post that was just made by the Izzy National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir after they violated the peace agreement and thumbed their nose at Donald Trump and all the world leaders. And I'm going to tell you this. This is lifted off of X. This is what X posted in the fine print. This post violated the X rules. However, X has determined that it may be in the public's interest for the post to remain accessible. It was originally posted in Hebrew by the Izzy National Security Minister. Okay, here we go. For every tear of an Izzy mother, 1,000 Lebanese mothers must weep. All of Lebanon must burn! Exclamation point. With all due respect to the Americans, Izzy must make it clear to the entire world that the blood of our sons and the security of our citizens are not forfeit. All of Lebanon must burn. Our supreme duty is to protect the citizens of Izzy and the soldiers of the IDF. And this commitment takes precedence over all other consideration.
So when I said Izzy earlier, you see, as she mentioned, that country that starts with an I. Okay, you know what we're speaking about. And as all of us do, we try to find ways to throw off the algorithms so that the videos don't get taken down. So certain words we put in code. Okay, we speak in code with certain words we say. And I know I already said some words, like I said, Yahweh Ratazah, this video don't get taken down.
I told the Prime Minister, even in our private meetings, for every tear of an Izzy mother, 1,000 Lebanese mothers must weep. Enough with the ping pong. In the Middle East, you don't win with measured responses and restraint. You need to go berserk, to obliterate, to crush the terror. Every Republican voter and every Republican bought and paid politician, every Democratic centrist voter and every Democratic centrist in office that condemned the college students who protested on their campuses, doxed them, got them expelled, supported this administration by filing charges against them for exercising their free speech, they are owed an apology because they saw the obliteration. They saw the going berserk in Gaza. They saw 1,000 Palestinian mothers, completely innocent, weeping as their children, their babies, their kids were obliterated. All of them innocent. This is sociopathic behavior. This is the military and the government of Izzy that has controlled the United States and our politicians for decades.
And that being the part that I'm talking about, you have an outside entity that has completely hijacked Congress, and our leaders don't act in the best interests of the people. They're acting in the interest of this other place, of this foreign entity, and no one seems to care. This is going to lead to the destruction of this place. All right? Now, I'm going to play this next video. Okay? Because I actually have an image of a two youths buried.
And I'm going to let him finish, but right quick, I want to get this. In the book Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 5. Man, we always bring out these scriptures, but it's necessary. We're not going to stop. Ezekiel 35 is because it says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, said the Lord Yahweh Power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Okay, so these people, they showing you where they're really barbaric, man. They're being barbaric, and they're being showing their true colors, man. They pursue blood. They are after blood. Trump wants a peace deal. We want war, and that's what they're saying. Okay, and that's the nature of these Edomites, mainly Amalek, and Amalek is the ones that's in charge right now. Amalek is the one she's calling Izzy. Okay. Thus will I make Mount Seir, which is code word for Edom, most desolate, and cut it off from him that passeth out, and him that returneth. Okay. So the sword is sharpened, and the Lord ain't playing no games with these people, and He's making them do the things that they do to bring about their judgment, man. That's why this man ain't gonna stop, because the Lord ain't gonna make him stop. That's why while Trump is backing off for right now, best believe he's gonna get back involved. The least of the flock will draw him out, and that's all the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, man.
Buried in rubble, dead, covered in dust, and blood coming out of their mouths. Their bodies are crushed beneath rubble. But I'm not gonna put it in the camera. I'm gonna keep it out of the. But this is what those people were protesting in those colleges, and they were labeled all sorts. Some people even got deported because they voiced their opinion about that. They attacked students. Well, when does America attack its own college students? What the hell is going on with that? Okay. But let me play this second video of what's really happening, because, as a matter of fact, what I'm gonna do, I'll play the Fox News video first to hear the hypocrisy. Yeah, this one right here. Because
U.S. negotiators
I was
Switzerland.
visited. They were just out of camera sight, but I had two weird Edomites that came and stood about 10 feet from me. But the spirit always drives them off. But here we go.
For the first round of nuclear talks with Iran, this as Hezbollah and the Israeli Defense Forces exchanged fire in Lebanon this weekend. Fox News chief foreign correspondent Trey Yingst is live.
Now, when you listen to this story, they make it sound like, that small nation did major damage. That small nation lost a lot of soldiers, a lot of death. That's why they made that statement about revenging the blood of their sons. Okay? And truthfully being said, see, fighting with Hezbollah and other places, they actually have to face soldiers. When you were fighting in Gaza, you were just, fighting unarmed people that were unable to flee or defend themselves. That small nation that, like she said, Izzy, that small nation, they don't fare well when someone's, shooting back at them. When someone's, got fixed bayonets and coming back at them. They're not good. They're not really that good, And they talk a big game, but they're really not that good. They just use superior firepower and suppress people and then go get them while they're hiding. All right. But this is why they gave that speech about they want the mothers crying and mourning, because they like I said, when they have to face actual opposition and not just women and children and old people, they don't do so well.
Tel Aviv with the latest. Trey.
Hey, Peter, good morning. High-level diplomatic talks are taking place today in Switzerland aimed at solidifying the memorandum of understanding and entering into the next phase of negotiations. This comes as Iran's IRGC says they have closed the Strait of Hormuz. I spoke earlier with President Trump for more than 20 minutes, and he responded to that threat from the Iranians, saying that he spoke with Iranian officials overnight and told them, you close it and you won't have a country. He went on to say if they don't make a deal, we'll collect tolls. We may take over the strait if we have to. The president says the U.S. could become the guardian angel of the strait and the Middle East and take 20% of the oil. The strait, along with Iran's nuclear program, remain the focus for talks in Switzerland. Iran's president, Masoud Pezeshkian, spoke today from Tehran, laying out a new red line for the regime in this next round of discussions.
And, let me say, I mean, Trump gonna run his mouth. But what he's actually talking about doing right there is not what he's actually doing right now. But once Babylon the Great has suffered enough, he's definitely going to do it. But he's going to lose once again. Okay? So once again, don't get it twisted. Right now, this is just wars and rumors of wars. You know what I'm saying? But this is why we're not we're moved by it because we're excited. But we're not afraid because we know that these things have to happen. Okay? And that's Matthew chapter 24. But best believe he will resume war, because this is just who this man is. They seek blood. This is all they do. They eat it, they shed it, they eat it, they drink it, whatever. Two monkeys and a dog. This is what these people do. They're the damn devil.
We will not give up our right to enrichment, and they too will be forced to accept it. You all know
this is what really happened. As Trump, as the Fox News gave that completely and totally false report, if America could have took it over, they would have did it a long time ago. They couldn't take it over. They lost. All right, they lost. And pretty much bankrupt America and destroyed the economy in doing so. All right? And this is what they, you know, and Iran is basically getting their way.
What the so-called president of the United States was saying, he had made a complete 100-degree turn. He was saying that Iran must surrender unconditionally. Iran has no right to do this, it has no right to do that.
President Trump responded directly to Iran's president, Masoud Pezeshkian, saying he better watch his mouth, he better shape up, or we'll take over the rest of the country. The president also spoke about Lebanon, where 5 Israeli soldiers were killed by Hezbollah in the course of 48 hours over the weekend.
So we'll stop right there. So the reason that Trump is bumping his gums is because he got that phone call, more than likely from Bibi. You know, he told him he better get back in line and he gonna release some of these files. Okay? And Trump is more worried about his name and his reputation than America. He, you know, and that's just a brutal, uncomfortable truth for some of you Americans. All right? Those files, you will never see those files. It's never going to happen. So stop asking. Okay? You know, they're never going to do that. Meanwhile, let's play this video and let's hear what really happened. And what's going to happen.
Take long. Iran has suspended the 60-day talks with the United States as part of the MOU. They have suspended that due to continued fighting between Hezbollah and Israel, and also stated that they will not be honoring any of their commitments to the MOU, which means opening the Strait of Hormuz, until that is taken care of. But here's really what's going on. There's a rule in negotiation.
Now, that MOU thing is, I don't know exactly what it stands for, but it's something about, you know, the Muslims united or something to that effect, which proves we're going to get that too. The Carmenians, all that that the land of Izzy has done, and the Little Hats, all what they've done is help prophecy speed up to make the dragons of Arabia all band together, including those who were once with them. All right. So they've really effed themselves. Here we go.
That is so fundamental, that is just so basic, that they teach it on the first day of business school classes or any hostage negotiation seminar, every diplomatic training program in the world. And that is, you never tell the other side how badly you need the deal. You never tell the other side how badly you need the deal. And Donald Trump broke that rule immediately on a global stage at the G7 summit in front of every world leader and every diplomat and every intelligence service and every other traitor on the planet. He said that he needed to make this deal with Iran to prevent an economic catastrophe. He compared the risk of continued war to the Great Depression, the 1930s, the worst economic collapse in modern history. He said that out loud into microphones on camera at a summit of the 7 most powerful economies in the world, basically telling the world,
what you just heard me play,
in defense of his horrible deal, I had to make this deal to prevent an economic collapse. The thing is, the deal isn't done. There's just a memorandum of understanding. There's just a framework. The deal isn't done, and you're broadcasting to the world already that you're negotiating from an extraordinarily place of weakness. And trust me, Iran heard every word of that. Because what Trump just did, this isn't some political opinion. This is negotiation mechanics. When the President of the United States tells the world that he needs this deal to avoid economic catastrophe, he's told Iran 3 things. 1, the United States cannot sustain the current situation. 2, the economic pain they are inflicting on the world is working. And 3, Iran has more leverage than the United States.
Exactly. And we can stop. we can stop it right there, because that's the truth of the matter, which means that the American reports are completely and totally false. What is called propaganda. Okay? So a couple scriptures came to mind. First, they just lie so much. You got to get that Isaiah. It's Psalms 58 and 3. And it reads, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. They just lie, man. You can't believe anything that comes out of their mouth. They wrote down history and fabricated it while covering up the real history. And in a lot of cases, they were stupid enough to keep the relics and the evidence of the real history. All right, they didn't even destroy it. They so greedy. They locked it away, and then you got, whistleblowers and people that leak it and show it, expose it. Okay? Next thing, the nations are emboldened. Was that Isaiah 14 and 11, I think? And 10. And it reads, or both, 10 and 11. All they that speak and say unto thee, Isaiah 14 and 10, all they speak and say unto thee, art thou become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? See, so America's not so great and mighty where the nations are fearing them, and just let them have their way and just become, yes men to them. That's not happening anymore. America would sit at the head of the table, with a room full of armed guards when no one else has armed guards, and the leader of the meeting would set his big pistol right in front of him as he negotiates with all the nations that don't have a big pistol. Problem is now, every nation sitting there has a big pistol now. Things are different. Okay?
Joel chapter 3. The nations are not afraid no more. They are not afraid anymore. Joel chapter 3, I think I want to start at verse 9. Joel chapter 3 and 9. Proclaim this ye among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords. Okay, your plowshares are basically like your a forming utensil, put it like that. It says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. See, everybody's just been, all these different nations have been like, look here, man, we just gonna live our lives and do our thing and let y'all people make it. We ain't trying to fight with y'all. Whatever y'all want, man, just whatever, man. We don't want to fight, man. But now they said, hold up, fuck that. Now they're like, no, you want the smoke, we gonna give it to you. And that's what Iran just did. They gave Esau the smoke. You know what I'm saying? And now Esau don't know what the fuck to do. So he gonna come out with all kind of chaos because he's in straits. Okay, it says, assemble yourselves and come all ye heathen. Okay, and when you say Gentiles and heathen in these particular verses, it's speaking of the heathen nations. Okay, not the Gentiles of Israel that were scattered around. This is talking about heathen nations, and once again, as the brother spoke, it's all nations here. So it's, but right now these other nations are saying, hey, we now, at first we didn't want to fight. We knew we couldn't win. But they spent all this time building up their military might, and now they're saying, what's up? What's up? What you got? What you want to do? You know what I'm saying? And now they're calling Babylon the Great out. You know what I'm saying? And Babylon the Great, like, not right now. Not right now. No, I'm cool. I'm cool. Man, it says, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down to the Lord. Verse 12, let the heathen be awakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Okay? Put in ye the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full, the fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. Okay? And that's where we are, man. That's where we are. We're coming to that point where you're gonna see all these nations gather together, you know what I'm saying, to come up against Babylon the Great and Izzy. You know, and then they're gonna stop fighting each other to fight the second coming of Yahweh Shah, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Okay? So I'm gonna let him speak a little bit more. It ain't got much left in this here. Salakia, that this video is going longer than I wanted it to do, but hey, the point has to be made. Okay, the point has to be made, and it will be made.
Okay? So they're like, you know, you become weak as we. Then now they decided, you know what, we got pistols too, homie. We don't agree with that. Matter of fact, we not doing that. We need to do something else. The boldness of the other nations. All right? And then lastly, we're going to go into Second Ezra 15. Yeah, and 28. Because like I said, what they did is they're driving all those Arab nations to finally link together and stand up. You know, the Sunni and the Sunni and I forget the Shia. You know, they're gonna get beyond their differences, which have kept them separated over the decades. And they're what the world, the nations of the world are realizing they have one common enemy, and it's America and Izzy, and the Edomite nations in general. Okay, because the EU is not feeling America either. The EU is looking to separate from and defund Izzy and not deal with them. Okay, but this is 2nd Ezra 15 and 28, and it reads.
And Salakia, since he mentioned that, I'm gonna go back to it. But he mentioned that the EU is looking to separate from America. You know, and I believe that's Revelation chapter 18. It could be 17. Let's try Revelation chapter 18. Revelation 17 and verse 15. And he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, that whore represents America, Babylon the Great. It says, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues, all these other different nations. It says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Okay, and this is, you're seeing it all play out. The Lord is separating all the allies from this great whore, Babylon the Great America. Okay, she's no more allies except for Izzy. You know what I'm saying? It says, for God hath put it in their hearts. The Lord put it in their hearts to do this. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is making this happen. Okay, this is why we fear the Lord. We don't fear them. It says that for the Lord hath put it in their hearts to fulfill this will, to fulfill his will, and to agree and give their kingdoms unto the beast, until the words of God shall be fulfilled. Okay? And the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. That's talking about America, Babylon the Great, man. And all these different nations, you know, even those that's in league with Babylon the Great are getting ready to turn on Babylon the Great. I think the book of Obadiah speaks on that. It's only one chapter, and let's go. It says, all the men of thy confederacy are all your allies, have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. Okay, shall I not in that day, said Yahweh, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau? And thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is coming to avenge our captivity and everything we've been through from the slavery days, you know, from 70 AD, you know, even all the times, because all these nations have had a hand in our captivity, our captivities. Okay, now the Lord is coming to avenge the blood, the Israelites' blood that was shed. He's coming to avenge that on all these other nations. Okay, and Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua requires blood as well in our defense. This is why we don't, once again, we fear the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. We don't fear them. And we look to the Lord in these times, and we come to repentance. Because, hey, the days are being shortened, and time is running out. And the Lord is making moves and proving his word to be faithful and true. Now ain't the time to play no games, man. And now is not the time to be playing games. Let me let this brother finish and I'm going to kill it. Well, I'm going to be done with this lesson. Salakia.
Behold, in horrible vision, and the appearance thereof from the east, right? Where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and a multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon the earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. Also the Carmenians raging in wrath. Carmenians is the ancient name of Iran, of Persia. Okay? Raging in the wrath shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood. All right? And a boar is a very dangerous animal that actually, even though a boar is not like some top predator, a boar sometimes kills the predators that hunt it. Okay? It's that dangerous of an animal, and it definitely kills men that hunt them. They're very dangerous. Okay? And it says, and all the Carmenians raging in wrath shall go forth as wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them that shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. Now you got to think, the Syrians, the Lebanese, a lot of the Ishmaelite and Arab and Elamite nations are already at war with Esau, Edom, with Izzy. So the Carmenians are going to join them. Okay? You know? They're all going to join together. So it's
And that's talking about, even includes Turkey, which look here, if you think Iran was able to mess with able to deal with America don't want that smoke with Turkey. And then these other smaller nations that's been bullied by America, your Iraq, your Saudi Arabia, so on and so forth, you know what I'm saying? Afghanistan, all these Muslim nations, Arab nations, they're gonna come together now. They're gonna all form to come together. They're no more allied with America, Babylon the Great. So America is losing all its power. It's losing all its power, it's losing all its defense, and there is no hope for this place again. There is no hope.
It's almost curtains for this place.
The end is coming, and it must come. Okay? And we're here, man. We're here. And a lot of things are getting ready to happen, so keep your eyes open, keep your ears peeled. Okay? Keep your ears open. However the saying goes. Hey, stay circumspect, man. Be aware of what's going on around you. Because we in these times. And it's important that we hold on to this wisdom and knowledge and understanding that we have until Yahweh Shai returns, man. We got to hold on to this, because that's going to be our stability when shit hits the fan. As you can see, it is about to do. So let's go to Revelation chapter 2. And this is verse 25. Yeah, Revelation 2 and 25. Let me highlight it. It says, but that which ye have already hold fast, but which that ye have already hold fast till I come. Okay? And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. I'm going to go ahead and read this. Verse 27, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, and as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my Father. Okay, so because we're joint heirs to the kingdom of heaven. And in the kingdom of heaven, we're going to rule over all these nations. Everything that's happening right now is to bring the nations down so that they can be in submission to us in the kingdom of heaven, right here on earth. Okay? I'm gonna let him finish talking. He ain't got much more time. A few seconds left, and that's gonna be it.
Almost curtains for this place. So with that, I want to give all praises, all honor and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rekahak, Radash, Kwam, Yasharala, Abba, Babal.
Yeah, and that's it. I'm going to give those same all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rekahak, Radash. Okay? And until the next time. Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Barakatah. Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Barakatah. Mabah, Babah. Until the next lesson, Shalom.